problem 99% of artists have is they just look a little bit too bland and they just don't stand out. So when you make videos, when you make content, it's a little bit boring and people don't really catch on to it. But on the flip side of this, if you just learn to dress really, really well and use your outfit and your wardrobe as a way to get more attention to yourself, it becomes a really powerful weapon. So I want to give you this blueprint on how to dress like a superstar to start your 2026 off right and make sure that you get ahead of like 99% of other artists that are not using these. Because when you look at ASAP Rocky, Biggie, or Cardi, or Tyga, or literally anyone, we're gonna look at them in detail. But you look at them and you look at some other guy rapping on Instagram that just looks like the guy from next door. And let's be honest, these guys are more fun. You're more excited to keep up with these guys because they look like something that you don't see every day, which is kind of the point of art. It's supposed to be larger than life, which is what this video is about. And this part of the blueprint specifically is actually from paid material in my group you can look at in the link below. But I'm gonna tell you the essential, like the quintessential few things that are very easy to do, that are the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to styling and branding yourself, just so you know what to do from the start of the year. And I think this will be pretty powerful for you because fashion is big, fashion is huge, and having your fashion right will get you the eyeballs you want, especially if you learn to do content well and if your music is good. This is just going to elevate you to the next level, guaranteed. Now, the first kind of thing you see when you look at all these people who are, let's call them professional musicians, right? They do this for a long time, they do it as a living, and I'm just looking at a few, is they kind of have, I want to say, star quality that for the longest time, it was really, really hard to put a finger on. Why are they really different? Well, I broke it down. I broke it down, so now it's going to be simple. And the first rule is to actually overdress. This is the Pareto 20% that will get you 80% of the results. Just look like you're not supposed to be dressing like this. Go overboard. Go so much overboard. Like, look at Rocky here. He is not dressing like a normal person would. He's overdressed to shit. Biggie in this picture, overdressed to shit, like very striking, very colorful, you know? Cardi, needless to say, Cardi overdresses probably more than anybody, okay? This is Tyga at some awards, and again, he's just overdressed for each occasion. You're kind of supposed to look like, even if you're going to the store, you're supposed to be on your biggest, best fashion, biggest, best outfit. I never want you to turn on a camera unless you're dressed like you're going to the fucking Emmy Awards or something, or to the red carpet, right? Or to a fashion show. You just gotta go crazy. And if you really look at all these, you really start to see this pattern. I hope it's clear now that I'm out. And by the way, we're gonna look at girls as well. So if you're a girl watching this, don't worry, we'll get to you. Most of the viewers on the channel are dudes though, so we'll start with guys, okay? If you just stick to that principle of overdressing and looking like you're supposed to be at the Emmy Awards or like at a fashion show or some shit, this will be the biggest and best for you can take. So how do you actually break it down into slightly more actionable steps? What is overdressing? You start by wearing tons of accessories. If you look at a lot of these guys, not everybody, but a lot of these, they wear tons of accessories. Rocky's got his strap here. It's not even a belt, right? This could be a part of a shirt. It could be like a little tie. I'm actually not too sure. Hard to see in this picture. He's wearing earrings. His hair is obviously done in a cool way, right? He's wearing a ring. Actually, not many rings in this picture, but if you look at Biggie, he's wearing two of the same Jesus piece and he has a cane. Why would he need two of the same Jesus piece? Well, that is the question a viewer like me is supposed to be asking. Why? And the only reason why is so people ask the question why. Cardi's very good at this. He's always wearing like tons of chains. He's always like stacking. Young Thug's also good at this. You can see Little Wayne here with the massive, needlessly massive chain stack, but this is what creates that effect. If you wear just Actually, Cardi has no accessories here and he still looks pretty cool, but that's just him. The general rule is to wear more than any average person wears. So remember that rule and stick to it. Look, Tekka has like 2 belts, like 8 different chains, bracelets, earrings. All of this really, really comes together. And at the end of the day, it's more important because honestly, you wouldn't go to college like this, right? You wouldn't show up at your job like this, which is what kind of separates you as an artist from normal people, which is kind of the job of an artist. The next thing you can do is color match. Now, I've touched on this in my 40-minute video on how to become an iconic artist, and it's still as important as I cover in that video. When you match colors really well, you start to become just generally aesthetically pleasing. And when something is generally aesthetically pleasing, the eye kind of wants to latch onto it. The eye kind of wants to keep looking because our brain like nice. And color matching, I cover a lot in that video, but the basics are this. You can either go like all black, which is something I like to do because it's really, really easy. Or you can go like all white, which is again really, really easy. Or you can go kind of monochrome. Tekka here is monochrome with a little bit of a red accent, right? Monochrome means there are no colors. It's just grays, blacks, whites, and different shades of blacks, and let's say that. And here, Future is basically in an all-white outfit, but with a green accent. So he's basically only wearing one color, because white is a shade, black is a shade, right? Gray is also, I'm pretty sure, considered a shade. So technically, going monochrome like this, or like this, or like this, is a very easy thing you can do for yourself, because building a wardrobe like that is just so simple. You don't gotta worry about color wheels and color theory. But let's say you do want to worry about color wheels and color theory. And you do. Adobe, just look up Adobe color wheel on Google. They have a free color wheel. And so you pick a color and it will tell you complementing colors, or it can tell you accenting or opposite colors. Like here, Biggie's wearing red and blue, which you're not really supposed to together, so they're contrasting colors. And this is why in his case they look really good, because he's doing the contrast on purpose. So it looks intentional, and when it's intentional, it comes off as clean and nice. With a color wheel in your hand and kind of fucking around and learning to use it a little bit, you will be very, very confident in picking out clothing pieces that match color style. If you want to go with a primary color like red, go to the color wheel, you pick red, and it shows you what other colors you can use. It's easy as that. But of course, I still recommend just wearing like 1 or 2 colors because there's just so much easier. Now, the next rule is to wear weird pieces and materials, which is where we're gonna start shifting here. Okay? No normal everyday person is kind of gonna wear it. Or they're not really gonna wear leather pants or a hoodie, and you might have actually seen this hoodie in previous videos. I knocked out a few vids after I knocked out my content for this cycle, so this was literally my shopping basket for that content shoot. And a normal person wouldn't really wear that outside too much, is the whole point. So by choosing weird pieces and weird materials like this, a lot of these pieces, we're looking at girls now, they have furs, right? A lot of pieces I was looking at here, they have leather, which is something that these guys do. Cardi does this a lot, right? Tyga here is basically full leather. It's something people wear too commonly. Here, Biggie is wearing suede. Suede, almost like a sweatsuit, and suede boots, which is not common. Look at how oversized Eminem's tracksuit is. It's ridiculously large. It doesn't fit him at all, but it looks so good because the colors are matched and the pieces are like too large, and your eye kind of catches on to that. The human psyche is very sensitive to things. Okay? So let's look at some girls. Look, Rihanna's also oversized, and she's wearing a net mesh piece and some weird fucking. What are these sleeves with the fur, bro? No, you can't go to the office like this, and that's the whole point. She's got like python or maybe crocodile boots. They're like snake weird materials and weird like pieces that aren't normal. They're so fucking going oversized is also generally huge and is also really trendy right now. So if you go up by like one or two sizes from what you're supposed to be wearing, or if you buy generally oversized pieces, it's gonna do you a lot of favors going into 2026 because oversized shit is still a trend. If you're a girl, you can also try weird dresses. You can also try these weird like crop tops and showing underwear like this Balenciaga model because again, that's just not something average people would supposed to be average because you're an artist, you're art. Being average is the last thing you want. Furs, very, very big. This one even comes with a little cross, which I think I just put it here as an example of a really good piece that you can buy for yourself and make sure that it gets you star power, literally boosting your star power stats. Now, one quick disclaimer before I end the video, because I said everything I want to say, but when you learn to dress and when you learn to put together wardrobe, takes a while to also match what you kind of imagine in your head with what actually looks good on you. So don't worry if the first piece you order don't quite sit right, right? Just keep going, keep buying shit, keep trying it out. Fashion is a game of experimenting as much as it is a game of learning. So once you do that, start dressing better than everyone else. Start learning to look good in the clothes that you're buying. You're not sure if you look good or not, or if you look like shit, just send a picture to a friend who isn't gonna glaze you. Send a real picture to a friend who will give you honest feedback and just what do you think? And with that, I hope these concepts were pretty simple and easy to follow. I hope you understood the value of what I'm trying to say here. And if you want the full blueprint on this, like 3 hours long, definitely check out the brand new Spanking School community I got going. It's going to be totally worth it. There's like 6 hours worth of total course over there. And I am posting daily, posting all the resources to help you grow. Also doing weekly members only videos which aren't coming to YouTube. So if you've been liking my YouTube vids, you can join that just to some extra. With that, I will see you in the next one.